So let's talk about these clear goals that I've established for you. There's 3 categories of focus for you. And guys, this is just a leadership course in leading yourself well through any decision or task you do. We're making it shooting oriented. All right, the first one is, what is the difference between accuracy and precision? So accuracy is simple. It is hitting the target. It doesn't say make a small group though, does it? It says hit the target, right? So if you hit within the area allowed with generous times, because when you're training accuracy mode, can you train speed at the same time? So if we're shooting a bullseye drill at 25 yards, it's going to take a certain amount of time. I see some good shooters out there. All right, what would your splits be on a 25-yard bullseye if you wanted to get 10 ring hits? 2 seconds?
I was going to say 2 to 3.
5 seconds, somewhere in that area. All right. So we're letting time go when we work on accuracy, and that's what keeps it clear. But precision is the distance between the shots, and it's the distance between your errors. So when you make an error, if it's precise, you can do it over and over. So can I be inaccurate but precise? We call that the low and left problem. It's low and left. So your errors are so precise they're repeatable. And I have a guy that comes and trains with me. He's got a transient trimmer. So he's not precise, but he's accurate. There's a difference. One is aiming, and the other one is fundamentals. Let it repeat. Hey, now I would like to point this out since my wife is in the row here, and maybe she could fix this for me. This will be recorded. All right. My wife is a speedboat shooter. And I would like all of you to look at the little bullet in the corner. I came out of the precision rifle world.
That's not you.
Come on back. It's not funny if you don't go back. I would like you to notice the graphic I got. See the problem here?
Oh my.
I feel oppressed.
That's funny.
So, she's got this beautiful little bullet that says get after it, right? So what's the difference between speed and efficiency? What is speed? Things some of you don't like because you're procrastinators, right? You know why you procrastinate though? This is going to hurt. Trust me in just a moment though, it'll all work out. The reason you procrastinate is you see the challenge is not big enough, so you compress the time. I will. You don't see the challenge as large enough, so you pressure the time on it. You make it compress the time to a smaller area. That's what procrastination is. How many of you do your best work when you procrastinate? Yeah, you're forcing yourself to do it in a more challenging way, because what's the thing we can't pay attention to is when we lack challenge. See, the brain is gearing us always to be challenged. Now, how many of you leave early for any event? Some of you I know are, if you're not an hour early, you're late. You'll be at the front gate waiting for me when I start the class, right? How many of you pack the car last minute and hustle out the door? Good. Now, which one's really fast? So it feels fast when you throw all the stuff in the car and run as fast as you can, but there's a lot of error rates, right? And it's not really fast because you're still late. But the person that's prepared well, it feels slow to them, but it is actually fast. So how can we measure speed if you're not a good measure of speed? You have to have a timer. You have to have something to measure it. All right. How many of you go to a strength and conditioning coach, and if he didn't let you lift weights, would just keep going to him? So you got to know how long it takes you to do something. It's important, but it's not a judgment. It's just saying that human beings are not good at telling time, because how many of you have a watch on right now? Right? How many of you have a phone? And you're still late. Now, efficiency is different. Efficiency is total energy expended relative to the process. And I call this try medium. Quit trying hard. Try medium. You know, after the speech before, you got a gun because it works better, right? So why don't you let the gun do the work? Athletically, it requires no work out of you. Maybe at the level of a dart thrower. You're not doing much, right? So let the gun do the work. But how many of you try to help bullets fly? You know what I mean? Another beautiful graphic. All right. So this is where the two meet. If we're going to train accuracy by itself and allow a generous time, when we train speed, we're going to allow generous accuracy. So we can't train them together. But when we put them together, we call it performance mode. And that is your current level of skill earned in practice. It's your current level of skill earned in practice. If you haven't practiced, like, you know, the dentist knows when you floss your teeth the night before you go to the dentist because your gums bleed. The shooting instructors, we all know when you haven't been shooting. And the number one thing as I hear it is, I'm so excited to be at your class, but I really haven't practiced.
Mm-hmm.
So what will your current level of skill be? Whatever you're willing to earn in practice. You have to do that. So how do we manage speed and accuracy together? It's the process of accomplishing an action or a task. And that's balancing what is important relative to the information available, the time allowed, and the need for correction or preemption. I have once again said to you something that can change your entire shooting process. It's hard though. How much information? How much time? And do I need to correct after it or before it? So how many of you fired a shot and go, boy, I wish I hadn't done that? Okay, so why didn't you stop? How long would it take you to fix a bad shot? I got a
Nothing.
number for you, about a quarter of a second.
Mm-hmm.
Will you make me a promise for the rest of your life, will you pay attention a quarter second at a time and make better decisions? Not perfect, just better. Because you could have fixed it before you fired it, but how many of you just got to get done? Just want to get it over with, right? But you watch it, you pay attention, it becomes a quarter second.